Good morning, and welcome to Unity Spiritual Center, Saxe, this Sunday morning, August 2nd, 2020. Let's take a deep breath in together and prepare ourselves for service. Breathe in, and then exhale. Breathing in deeply, centering ourselves, grounding ourselves. Exhale. Knowing and affirming that breath is life and life is breath. And that life is the one source. Divine mind. All goodness, all love, all peace, all joy. And as we breathe in and exhale deeply, we affirm our oneness with this energy, with this goodness that is God, knowing that we are two divine beings. Continue to breathe deeply, centering ourselves in our heart space, dropping into that place where our awareness of the divine is heightened, where we feel expanded, limitless, where we know too that we are goodness and power and light. And that as divine beings made in the image and likeness of the divine, we too are peace and love. We too are strength. We are prosperity. Continue to relax, letting go of all that you are to everyone in your life. Clearing your mind of responsibilities, your list of things to do. And just be aware of your beingness. You may feel the beat of your heart, the pulse of life running through your veins. Remember who and what you are. And now in this place of beingness, in this groundedness and centeredness, from there we sing our centering song, Spirit's Prayer.
Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. As within, so without. All I need is here and now. Where there's air, let me love. May I have no fear. All the power, all the glory, I surrender, let it be. Loving Spirit dwells in me, now and evermore. Loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. As within, so without.
And now let's picture in our hearts all the children who are part of this spiritual community and children around the world as we recite our children's blessing. Together, children of light, we see you guided and directed by an inward spirit that leads you into the path that is right for you. We see you strong and whole. We see you blessed and prospered. We see you courageous and confident. We see you as the spiritually perfect beings you truly are. Children of light, we bless you. And our inspiration moment for today is from 365 Science of Mind. I recognize the indwelling spirit. A belief in the invisible is the very essence of faith. Prayer, or spiritual communion, demands a complete surrender to the invisible. It knows that because the creative power of God is at hand, all things are possible. Whatever our idea of God may be, the perception of reality is always an inner perception. As Moses tells us, the word is not afar off, but in our own mouths. And Jesus taught us that the kingdom of God is within us. The power of prayer is not so much a petition as an inner recognition. We cannot doubt that the Spirit has already made the gift of life since we live. Ours is the privilege of acceptance. Thus, we are to assume the attitude of a grateful beneficiary of the divine gifts. This should be done simply and directly. To pray in spirit and in truth means to recognize this indwelling spirit and to declare the truth about its activity through us. Today, I directly experience the reality of spirit, allowing it to renew my mind, guide my decisions, and direct my affairs. I know that in the eternal act of creation, everything passes from the invisible to the visible to be temporarily experienced. I rest in peace, assured that my needs are met by this play of life upon itself. Be still and know that I am God. That's Psalm 46, verse 10. And let's repeat 3 times together our affirmation. I recognize the indwelling spirit. I recognize the indwelling spirit. I recognize the indwelling spirit. And now we're very blessed to have Lainey Bernstein with us again.
Good morning, everybody. So the songs that I've chosen to sing today are definitely Christian songs. And I was not raised Christian. I was actually raised Jewish. But I've come to realize as a singer and as a licensed spiritual coach that it's all one. We're all one. And so there are certain words that are in these songs that I was not raised with, but there are certain songs you just don't want to mess with perfection. And this is one of them, and this is called Oceans by Hillsong. You call me out upon the water, the great unknown, where feet may fail. And there I find you in the mystery, in oceans deep, my faith will stand. And I will call my soul will rest in your embrace, for I am yours, and you are mine. Your grace abounds in deepest waters. Your sovereign hand will be my guide. Where feet may fail and fear surrounds me, you've never failed, and you won't start now. And I will call upon your name and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace, for I am yours, and you are mine. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander. Let me walk upon the water in the presence of the sacred. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of the sacred. And I will call upon your name and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace, for I am yours, and you are mine.
Yeah, wow. Yeah. Take a breath, take a breath, take a breath with that. Your grace abounds in deepest waters. Your grace abounds in deepest waters. My favorite lyric is, Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. My trust is without borders. You know, this week I spent some time with one of our spiritual family who's in the midst of a medical crisis, and she doesn't have much cognitive ability right now, is unable to carry on a real conversation. And so our time together was different. She can say yes or no. If you ask a question, she understands what you're saying, but she's unable to form a sentence and give that back to you. And it was interesting being with her because she is a speaker, a teacher, a seminar leader, so it's and a good friend of mine, and it's different being in space with her where she's unable to articulate what she's thinking and what she's feeling. And so our time together was often quiet, and I talked some, and we held hands and hugged each other, and I started to think during our quiet time together, what is it that we know for sure? Because what she can say and what she often says now that she's just in a different space is, I don't know. She says, I don't know, because the words that she thinks can't come out of her mouth anymore. And so I've thought a lot about what is it that we know for sure these days. And you can see the distress sometimes on her face when she wants to say what's here, but her brain's not letting it come out of her mouth. And so I've really sat with that question. And I don't know that I have a lot of answers, only that I think we only truly know what we will let ourselves experience. Everything else is just out in the ethers. Everything else is just theory or beliefs or something somebody has taught you, but we don't know it. We don't have a certainty about it until we live it, until we do the thing that we want to know about. So one of the things that really turns me on about unity principles is that one of the principles is that you live principle. That you do what it is, some of the things that Jesus taught, other spiritual teachers and faith leaders have talked about. Mystics, Buddha, others who've just through the ages who have said certain things that we have a tendency to just believe and accept because of who said it. But if we don't live it, we still don't know it. And so when I hear her voice over and over saying, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, one of the things I said to her is, all that matters is what your heart knows. Those things that she has experienced, and that perhaps it doesn't matter what comes out of our mouths. Perhaps the words don't matter. What matters is the living of it, the experiencing of it. You know, one of the things I had to get used to about this calling of being a spiritual leader is that you're always open for criticism, and people are always thinking something about what you do, whether they like it or don't like it. And one of the criticisms I heard, it wasn't said directly to me, was that I wasn't a minister, but a motivational speaker. And, you know, I kind of said, okay. Yeah. Yes, thank you, because to motivate is to impel people to move, to do a thing, to experience something. And I thought, yes, I'll take that. Because that really is all I want to do. I don't get up here to talk so that you'll think what I say is wonderful. I get up here to talk because I'm hoping to inspire you to live something and to do something and to take whatever it is you heard or that you say you believe in and put feet to it, put hands to it, and bring it alive in the world and in your life, because then you have something to hold on to. Then when you get in deep water, like Lainey was singing about, you know how to navigate the water, and it doesn't take you under. You know, my mother was very ill, and she was in the hospital, and there was just, I knew she was dying, and it was before she went to hospice, and I was just helpless. There was nothing I could do for her other than be with her. And I spent hours with her at the hospital. I would just show up in the morning and stay for hours and then maybe go home and come back. And so I sang her that song. I've said before that I think I was singing to myself, really. But it's really all I had to give in those moments with her. And because I knew we were both navigating deep water during that time, that song helped me stay afloat. So that I didn't feel like I was drowning in the water. The water, I was floating on it. And as I sang the song, this experience, which seemed ugly and dark at times and at moments and felt like it might take me under, whenever I started to sing that song again, I was just on it. And the waters, those deep waters, just buoyed me and carried me through that experience. And so now because of that, I have a knowingness that whatever darkness there is, I can navigate it. We don't know until we do. And so I've thought, what else do I truly, truly know? Because I have an experience of God, because I jump in and I hear something that says, yes, God is the core of who each of us is. I've practiced trying to find God in everyone. And it's hard some days. Probably every day. It's hard to find God in everyone. No matter where they are, who they are, no matter who they are in your life, whether they are prominent in your life or out on the fringes of your life, or like we often talk about, is it somebody who's got road rage next to you and you're driving and you feel like flipping them the bird or something like that or whatever, and you're just up here and you're just crazy. It's hard to see the God in people or in yourself, no less, at the moment. Because there are times when we don't show up the way we think we ought to show up because it's hard. But in those moments, I stopped myself and can I see God in me and in the other person right here, right now? Am I willing to do that? And because I practice that and I make myself do it and I make myself see myself in that same light, then yes, now I can see God in me. And yes, I can see God in other people. And I think about when stuff happens, stuff happens in the world or somebody's done a violent act or something's happening, you think, where is God in that? So if the philosophy is that we are all made in the image and likeness of God, do I see that likeness in them? In the person who's done the heinous act or said something that just boils me. Yes. Can I see it? And the question really is, are you willing to see it? Because we can see what we're willing to see. We can do what we're willing to do. We can know what we're willing to experience. And so I practice that. I think of things. Was Hitler someone who had God within him? Yes. Man, that was a bitter pill for a lot of people to swallow. A bitter pill. And some people don't even want to go there, just can't go there. But if we all are, then yes, he was too. Are we willing to see that? Are we willing to see that? Well, we don't know until we try. We don't know until we try. So what are you willing to try? Are you willing to see goodness everywhere? And even if it's not in the moment, are we willing to believe or know or practice seeing that there is goodness in the big picture of something? That in this moment there may be destruction or evil or something we don't like, something that's not good, that's violent, that's hateful. Are we still willing to believe that overall there is goodness in the world? What do we know for sure? What do you know for sure? So I saw this quote attributed to both Sophocles and Aristotle. One must learn by doing the thing, for though you think you know it, you have no certainty until you try. Centuries ago, someone wrote that. Man has always been searching for knowingness, something to be certain of. And there are some that say that the only thing that's certain is uncertainty. That change is all that's certain. That there is nothing. There are always shifting sands. And all of us know, because we're all adults of a certain age, we do know everything changes, right? Everything. Sometimes in a split second. You go from feeling good and everything's right, and then maybe you get a phone call. Somebody's passed, somebody's ill, there's a diagnosis. Maybe you're in a hurricane or a tornado comes through and wipes away everything that you own. Maybe you lose your job. You're in a car accident. In a second, split second, everything can change. And so it's in those moments that you have to have something that you know for sure. And so, yes, when my mother was dying, I knew for sure that there was still goodness and light in my life and in the world. And that it was that light that was keeping me, that I was steeping myself in with that song and maybe with prayer or with my friends that showed up and the hugs they gave me, the chaplain that prayed with me, the young man that came and gave me a hug that I did not know, but I was standing in the midst by the elevator sobbing because I had one of those moments where it was just too much, and somebody I did not know walked up to me and said, can you use a hug? Yes. So what do you know for sure? What are you willing to live so that you know it in your bones? Because it's then that you can stand in the water by yourself and not drown. Because sometimes all there is you. In that moment when I was standing by that bank of elevators, sobbing my eyes out, there was nobody. I remember feeling there's nobody here but me and God. And God showed up as that man who hugged me. And even if he hadn't shown up, there was still, I knew, even in the midst of all that emotion, that I'm okay. I'm still standing here. I'm okay. I'm good. There is love. There is still goodness in life. So what are you certain of? What do you really know? And if there's something you don't know, is there something that's calling you to live it, to try it? Is there, but you just haven't been willing to go there. Have you just not been willing? Are you scared to go there? Are you just not sure? When I first got into Unity, I tested everything. Because they said, this works. I said, well, it's fine for you to tell me, but I don't know. I didn't live that way. I didn't grow up in a faith practice like that. I grew up in a faith practice that said, just believe it, don't question it. No, okay. And then you say things over and over again. But I didn't know that. And so here there was a new faith paradigm that said, live this principle. That it's not enough to just hear what people tell you. Go do the thing. It was the same thing with tithing, because I didn't do that. I was like, oh, God, they're asking for money again. Oh, my God. Do we have to do that? And so that was it was foreign to me. And plus, we didn't use the word tithe in Catholicism. We just didn't, or at least I didn't hear it. It might have been said, and it just went over my head. Or I dismissed it. It could have been that they said it, and I dismissed it. But then it was there. I kept hearing it, and I thought, 10%. And at the time, it was not rational for me. Give up 10%, and you're thinking and budgeting and everything else, and you're thinking, I don't have 10% to give away. I don't. But then I kept hearing it. And I said, oh, okay, I'm testing the other stuff. I'm testing this too. And I did it with an attitude. I'm going to see if this is right. That's the truth of it, really. But I did it at a time, I started it at a time that was not convenient financially. And it opened the floodgates for me. I was shocked at where money came from. And then there was an ease of life financially. It seemed like I was always taken care of. My salary didn't change. I didn't get a new job. Things just went more smoothly. And I thought, okay. And then I stopped because I thought, that's just a fluke. And it changed because my mindset changed. And so I did the thing because practitioners would say it works. So now I know it works, and now I do it without thinking about it. And so it's just different. I can't explain it. I don't know. Again, at times when I tried it again, something shifted, and it's just the goodness of the universe. When we live the principle. So now I know it works. And so it's easy for me to say, do that in your life. And it is easy for me to say because I know. But if you're not doing it, it's not easy. It wasn't easy for me when I first heard it. I wanted to dismiss it. I kept saying, it's not a thing. How can mindset change what's happening out here? Not possible. But just like the reading from 365 Science of Mind this morning, the invisible is the source of the visible. And so when I worked and I said yes to the invisible, now I'm taken care of in the visible. You got to do the thing. Do the thing. So that you know it in your bones. And then you have certainty. Because life is often uncertain. Often. Look at us walking around with masks on. And not knowing when it's going to end. I think most of us thought it was going to go for a couple of months. And then we'd be back to normal. But we still don't know when it's going away. This might be our existence. Forever. We may always be wearing masks because there might always be some bacterial or some viral something that's out there that we need to guard ourselves against.
Maybe when all of us learn to live in that true love that we're
Yeah, maybe so.
Masks for years and not these masks. But
Yes, yeah.
you know, the mask.
The other thing the reading said is that all things are possible. So yes, that is possible. But we would all have to believe that's possible.
Yeah.
We would all have to know that that's possible. We would all have to demonstrate that. But we're not all there. We're not all there. So what do you know for sure? Think about that. Think about it. Seriously.
I know that good must come of everything.
Yes.
There is good, and it's like Mr. Rogers said, look for the helpers.
Yeah, look for the helpers, yes.
Good can come from even the worst of circumstances. That is what I have to know.
And if we look for it, we see it. Always, yes. Good can come from anything. And so that probably gives you a place of peace to live from. Because you know now in your bones that when stuff hits the fan, there's always something good that comes from that. When you know that, you don't get lost. And you don't fear what's happening in the world. So if there's something you're uncertain about in your life, you're probably being called forward to do a thing so that you know it for sure. So that you know it for sure. And then you can walk this path that we have on this planet with strength and power rather than fear. Rather than living from fear, living in peace, in certainty about what this is and who you are and what you're connected to out here. And that there is only goodness. Let's take this into meditation. Let's breathe in. Just breathe deeply. And in this moment, find something that you are certain of and hold it in your heart. Just hold it in your heart, in your mind's eye. And whatever feeling you get from holding whatever that is, let that feeling flood your being right now. Feel it just expanding within your body. Within your torso, down into your legs, up through the chest and out into your arms, all the way to your fingertips and toes, up through the neck and into the head. Let it flood your brain. Every hair follicle, every pore of your skin. Feel that feeling of certainty of that one thing that you know for sure. Let yourself be that feeling. Say yes to it. Be grateful for it. Invite it into every area of your life. Invite that feeling of peace and certainty into your finances, your health, your work, into the relationships with all that you love, everyone that you love. Let it flood your home, the things that you care about. Just hold that feeling of gratitude and peace. Let yourself be it. Embody the knowingness. Let it seep into every cell of your body. Let it course through your veins. See your heart pumping that feeling through every inch of you, every centimeter of you. And let your body just sing and vibrate with that feeling of peace and knowingness. This is all that you need. Everything else is uncertain. This is your solid ground. This is what enables you to float on the deep waters. This is your trust without borders. And let it expand outside of your skin into the space around you, knowing that you are guided and protected. And feel the power of it, the quiet power of that. Knowing that you can return to this feeling, this knowingness at any time. No matter what's happening in the world, whether it's in your small universe or in this nation or across the world. Just breathe in, steadfast and sure. Steadfast and sure. Let's take a breath in together, breathing in deeply. Hold it at the top. Say yes in your heart and exhale. Breathe in again. Hold it at the top, saying, I am grateful in your heart, and exhale. And breathe in again, breathing as one life, one breath, one body, one humanity, one God. Let's just be together in silence for a few moments. And so it is, and so it shall be. Amen. So from this place of assuredness, we now prepare ourselves for a circulation of giving, knowing that our source is Spirit. That from source, which is first cause, all things come. And surely as we give, we receive. Now let's recite our celebration of giving. Wait for it. Wait for it. Together, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all the good that I am and have, and all the good that I give and receive, and so it is. And now once again, Lainey Bernstein.
It's called Holy Now by Peter Mayer. When I was a girl each week, Sunday we would go to church, pay attention to the priest. He would read the holy word, consecrate the holy bread. Everyone would kneel and bow. Today the only difference is everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. When I was in Sunday school, we would learn about the time Moses split the sea in two, and Jesus made the water wine. And I remember feeling sad that miracles don't happen still, but now I can't keep track, 'cause everything's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. Wine from water is not so small, but an even greater magic trick is that anything is here at all. So the challenging thing becomes not to look for miracles, but finding where there isn't one. Holy water was rare at best. It barely wet my fingertips, but now I have to hold my breath, 'cause I'm swimming in a sea of it. It used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand Now I walk it with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now. Everything, everything, everything is holy now. Everything, everything, everything is holy now. Read a questioning child's face and say it's not a testament. Well, that'd be very hard to say. See another new morning come and say it's not a sacrament. I'll tell you that it can't be done. This morning outside I stood, I saw a little red-winged bird shining like a burning bush, singing like a scripture verse. It made me want to bow my head. I remember when church let out, how things have changed since then. 'Cause everything is holy now. Everything, everything, everything is holy now. Everything, everything, everything is holy now. Everything, everything, everything's a miracle. Everything, everything, everything's a miracle. Everything, everything, holy now. Everything, every little thing, everything is holy now. Everything, 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 everything is holy now.
So let's bless our tithes and offerings. We are deeply grateful for all the time, treasure, and talent that flows into this community. From the landscape work that's done and those who come and work with the earth and make this place beautiful, to those who serve on the board, those who lead meditation, to those who take care of the building itself and work so hard. There's so much beauty that comes into this place. All of that we are grateful for. For all those who give offerings and tithes, we are grateful for all of that, for all of it is precious, and all of it allows us to do our perfect work in this world as Unity Spiritual Center, Saxe. Amen. So we just have a couple of announcements, reminders, really. Remember, we're still on our 100 days journey to the secret place with doing 100 days of meditation daily. And I'm hearing great things. People are just having some great insight, and they're feeling more calm in their lives, and things are shifting for them. So we have lots of support from you. We do have a group on the Insight Timer. That's that icon with the bowl. And then we have a meetup group, and we also have a Facebook group. Next one. Next Sunday, August 9, is our community discussion, 12:30 to 1:45. And you'll see the links both on Facebook and on our website. And we are still having our Zoom meetings on Tuesdays at 6:30 and Saturdays at 11 for those who just want some support along this 100 days journey to the secret place. If you did not start with us on July 12th, don't worry about it. You can start the 100 days whenever you want to start. But it's a way to invite you in to start a daily meditation practice and do it for 100 days. Because if you can do for 100 days, you can do it forever after that. Yeah. So, September 12th, 2020, from 11 to 1, we are going to dedicate and do an honoring of all those who are named in our the bricks out front. All the first responders, all of the police officers, those who have served in the armed forces, whether they have done it years ago, centuries ago, decades ago, all up to now. And there are some who have even dedicated, there's a brick there for someone they love. Maybe they did a dedication for their marriage or their grandchildren or something like that. But we're now going to do a dedication of those names and those people, honoring those we love and saluting those who serve and have given their lives for this country. So join us on September 12th. Save the date. We'll have more information out because we're working out how to do this logistically with health protocols and protecting ourselves and each other and being able to have an event at the same time. So mark your calendars, and we hope to see you on the 12th. Is that it, Quentin? So now we go to our prayer for protection. Let's recite together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And now we have our vision affirmation for our center. If you would like, you can stand. And we'll recite this together, or you may stay seated. It's up to you. Why am I'm like half sitting.
Okay.
Let's read from our power and our strength and our knowingness of who and what we are as divine beings. Together, we are a growing, thriving spiritual community. We are stepping more fully into our innate divinity and earnestly expressing our I am nature each day. We give freely, generously, and lovingly to the places where we receive our spiritual food, and we are manifesting overflowing abundance in every area of our lives like never before. Our collective energy is a positive magnetic force that attracts spiritual seekers to our center every week. And our Sunday services and events are now filled to capacity. We are peace, we are prosperity, we are joy, we are love, we are unity, spiritual center, Saxe. Amen. Thank you very much for spending your Sunday morning with us. It's been a pleasure to have you here. This is why we do what we do. So thank you very much. Have a